Another round of Funko layoffs. This is a topic that we absolutely hate talking about on the channel.
We do, and a lot of people would probably think that that's untrue because we cover it as often as Funko lays people off. But we really do not like reporting on news like this.
The reason why we are reporting news like this is for those who were affected and all the people who are over at Funko today. Because we have heard from a lot of different people who have once worked at Funko, maybe still work at Funko, or people who were affected today by this layoff over at Funko. And it's a hard pill to swallow, especially since yesterday we got this. So yesterday we ended up getting this write-up where they're talking about how prices are going to have to increase. And so by reading this, when we were talking about this yesterday, my thoughts were, does this mean they're cutting people? The way that I read this is that they were trying not to let the tariffs affect the business too much or make the pops too expensive.
Yeah, because I mean, you pay salaries, so therefore if there's less salaries to pay, you don't have to pass that cost on to your customers as well. What's interesting to me though is that one of the key points in this blog post is they mention that there will be better sculpts and more detailed figures. Your shelf deserves that glow up. My question is, if they're producing as much as they do, how do they have room to do better sculpts and more detailed figures if they're also laying people off?
Right, so they have to have the workforce in order to drum up all these awesome things that they're talking about here in this write-up. Also in this write-up, they talk about their talented artists right here in the US. We hear that artists were laid off today.
Yes.
In this whole shakeup.
Yes, as of right now, we have heard that marketing and artists have been laid off.
It makes you wonder, like after a while, with all the layoffs that we've been hearing about, because there was one many years ago which cut a lot of like people that we knew. Then the one we talked about recently, they cut out a lot of people, and now they're cutting out more people. I mean, really, how many people are they going to lose? And so what this tells you is that, one, business most likely just is not going well for Funko, because layoffs and things like that happen typically if things are not going well. They're trying to tighten things up a bit, and so they can still continue to meet the demands of the stockholders.
Yeah, so I feel like a big part of this is shareholders and rising costs due to tariffs, due to materials getting more expensive, etc.
So in their write-up, they talk about absorbing a big part of the increase behind the scenes. That's kind of what makes me think that the whole layoff thing was going to happen. That was the exact line.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How else are you going to absorb it aside from making less profit?
Yeah.
This morning, we actually received a very interesting email. It pertains to the layoffs. They mentioned that after careful evaluation, they expect to reduce their global workforce by more than 20% over the course of this year, 2025. Wow. And that does include the around 100 or so employees that were laid off back in March. They also state that they do not plan on backfilling these roles, which is very interesting because they are producing so much, they have such big plans. I just don't understand how they're going to keep up.
They're really setting themselves up for problems, I think. Because if you don't have enough artists like on hand to do all this stuff, especially the amount of stuff that they're doing, it's either that or they were bloated and they had too many. Like, I don't know.
I don't think that's
You don't think so? Because I don't know, because we're not at Funko. We only know as much as people tell us.
So we have been told previously the creative team had a hard time keeping up.
I remember years ago when we talked about the layoff from a while back, the work conditions were really rough.
Yeah, I remember people talking about 10 to 12 hour days when it was supposed to be 8.
We've never heard more about that, so it hasn't been mentioned that it's like that today. But I can only imagine what it's going to be like for the people who are now still at Funko, weren't laid off, and are taking on workflow from way more of their peers who are no longer there. This has got to be an incredible undertaking for them. And frankly, it's hard for us to get like mad at anybody, like blaming anybody at Funko, because we don't really know what's going on with the business. It's hard to say.
I think a big part of this has to do with the fact that they are being impacted by what's happening with imported goods.
I don't know. It's too early to say that.
That's what they're planning for.
So it's like impending doom.
Yeah.
But what if things get fixed? Because I read today in an article, the president has appointed some senator to deal with China to have negotiation talks. So like the tariff stuff could be squared away soon. So it's really hard to say what exactly is going to happen. Like, I feel like it's too preemptive. But maybe it has to be preemptive because really the future is unknown.
Yeah, and I mean, if they lay people off now, I don't know how many exactly were laid off today, but I mean, that could have saved them tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even upwards of $100,000 over the next couple of months when it could potentially be solved.
This is all speculation. We really don't know. We're just making our best guesses based off of what we see.
Yeah.
We do this every single day talking about Funko. We pay very close attention to what Funko is up to. We can speak from a place of we kind of think we know what's going on, but we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
So really, this whole video is allegedly. The layoffs did happen. That's for sure.
Not
alleged. We do know that.
Yeah.
But we have to say allegedly because we are not being laid off and we weren't there when the layoff took place. But we are hearing that people are getting laid off. And apparently today's layoff was not very good. It was a very ugly one.
They mention that the main reasons for these changes are because they want to create a leaner, more agile organization, one that can respond more effectively to shifting market dynamics.
That is perfect corporate speak.
Somebody
wrote that up. I bet you that was written by AI. One thing that is not leaving me is that apparently during the last layoffs, they put on some sort of all hands and Cynthia ran around giving people awkward high fives. And it's something that just will not leave my brain.
Well, now it has, and now other people can know about it. That to me says that they knew something grim had happened and they were trying to turn it around and make it seem not so grim. But the fact of the matter
awkward high fives, Heather, that's not helping anything.
Yeah, the fact is that gives them a look that says we don't care.
The awkward high five adds insult to injury.
They mention these changes, while painful, align with our continued efforts to simplify operations to sharpen our focus, efficiency, and creativity.
Again, this is all corporate speak.
The current environment has created more urgency. The direction remains consistent with our strategy moving forward to build a stronger, more sustainable Funko.
So they're preparing for the worst. The whole tariff thing is going to affect these large companies no matter what, really. Because stuff, I can guarantee you that things were still in transit or shipping, and the tariff took place. You see what I'm saying? Like anything could have happened in between getting it manufactured and ready to come to the US and then actually reaching the US.
Yeah.
And if people are getting hit with upwards of 145% tariffs, that could really damage a business. And we actually talked to somebody who's not in the toy business. They're in a completely different business, and they got hit with a ridiculous tariff. So much so that it really affected their small business.
This is no laughing matter. It is no joke. It will affect companies of all shapes and sizes and of all types.
I feel sad for the people who were laid off. I feel sad for the people who are at Funko and they're sort of like the ones who stayed. And then I also feel bad for even some of the higher ups at Funko because no one wants to see this. Nobody wants to see people get laid off. Nobody wants to see their business not maybe do well. It's really hard to watch all this. It's really hard to hear all this. But back to my original statement when we opened this video, we're really making this video for those who were affected. We have gotten so many emails. We have gotten so many messages. We have been reached out by a plethora of people from all sorts of corners of Funko. We even had people reach out to us and say, hey, if you have some work available, I would love to work for MISCHIEF Toys. So we're seeing all sorts of people and we want to help them. So here's what I have to say to you, the audience who are watching this, former Funko employees. If you were affected by any of these layoffs, you're looking for work, you need some sort of assistance and you think we can help you, please reach out, gastlecast@gmail.com. We will do everything that we possibly can. We've actually helped people who were laid off previously get jobs with other big companies. And I'm willing to do just that again. These other companies are looking for talented people. It's hard to find talented people, and we know that because we own and operate a very small business but it's hard to find the people who are the right fit for the things that you want to do.
Absolutely.
We have just been incredibly lucky. And you out there who are laid off today are an incredible talent. And I know that because you worked at Funko, one of the biggest toy companies in the whole world. So of course, it's not going to be hard for you to find new work. However, we are here to help in any way that we can. I can't promise anything, but we'll at least try, and we can also voice it right here on the channel. We don't have to say your name or your job. Maybe we'll say your job title. Hey, we got 5 artists that are looking for work. Who's out there that has, availability or needs some people? And we can help in that way. The one person that reached out to us and said that they wanted to work with Mischief Toys, we are certainly going to find something that they can help us with.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about being community, helping one another. That's why we do what we do every single day, not sitting behind the table yelling trash and everything, but really it is about community. It's about building community. It's incredibly important to both of us. It always has been. So we're here to help in any which way that we can. But as I always say, we're a Funko news channel. If we have Funko news, we're going to report on it, we're going to discuss it, and we'll tell you everything that we know, at least the things that we're allowed to tell. Because some of these folks reach out and they're scared for their life and they're like, please don't tell a whole lot of my story, but I want to share with you what's going on. And we share what they tell us we can share. And that's one thing, by the way, if you do email us and there are things that you do not want us to talk about, we will not talk about it. We stand by that. We promise you we'll never bring it up, but feel free to reach out and lean on us because we're here for that as well.
We will have more thoughts and findings in the coming days because as of the time of recording this video, I don't think everything's over yet. And not just that, but tomorrow is Funko's earnings call, which should be very interesting. I'm eager to listen to that and sit right here tomorrow and talk about what we heard.
Yep, we'll certainly be back doing that. So if you have interest in this type of news, Funko related news, this is the channel for you. I don't know many people who are doing this outside of us, but make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, follow us, and I would love to see your comments down below. If you have connectivity to the toy industry in any capacity, maybe you work for Super 7, know somebody who works for Super 7, maybe you work for Figpin, or you know somebody who works for Figpin. If you have any of those connections, please email us at gastlecast@gmail.com because we want to help out all the people that we possibly can, even if they're not asking for it. So what do you guys think about all this? I know it's sort of a grim video. Gastlecast is known for that. But again, we're just sharing the news. And it's important to share the news. And it's important to tell our feelings about this whole thing. Super bummed out about it. We always say we love Funko, and we truly do. We just want to see Funko get better. But hearing that people are getting laid off, as far as I'm concerned, is not the way I want to hear Funko's getting better. Yeah. That's how that email stated it. It's like, hey, things are going to be better, but we have to offshoot some people. I hate to hear that. In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons from Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Funko Fan 626, Dean Blockley, Art Perez, Calvin Lee, Mike Petrino, Joseph Mayfield, Brian, X, and Ryan Thomas. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys rock so hard. Thank you for all of your support. It means the world to us. Make sure you check out patreon.com/Gastlecast if you want to join in on the fun. Every single month we go live with our patrons. We hang out, we do giveaways, and we show you upcoming Mischief Toys things. And this month is no different. In fact, we're going to be going live with patrons on the 17th of May, and we're going to show you some really cool zombie things for Living Dead Weekend and much more. Join us, come and hang out, patreon.com/Gastlecast. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell. That way you'll know anytime we go live and post brand new content. You don't want to miss our new content. We have a blast here. Come back and watch us every Sunday between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, that's all we've got for you. Thank you for staying until the end. We appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.